I'm really honored to have Dr. Eisenstein with us. He'll be with us a little bit over the next hour. And we've got the world premiere of Parmas's new film, the trailer of that as well. I meant to have our first trailer out weeks ago, and I got behind. And so we're just releasing these both at the same time. So that's always exciting and interesting. It's not anywhere yet. It'll air here first at prisonplanet.tv as we simulcast on the radio. Dr. Eisenstein, there's so many other points. What do you see happening then? Because I agree with you, and this is all a fluid situation, that so much came out on Gardasil killing people. So much has come out on autism that they're now trying this big flu hysteria as a cover for federal and UN control under level 6. And that's congressmen are saying this now, too.
Exactly. I think you're right on point. I mean, you're right on point. It's not even theory anymore. It's reality.
So really, they're playing the game from 20 years ago, but you and I and many others have woken folks up, the great listeners out there have. And so now I saw them go from saying they had 195 million doses to 40 million dosages. And I'm not saying we've had victory because they may keep going, but it does look like we're seeing them start to pull back.
I think there's no question about it, and so they're applying as much scare tactic as possible. 90,000 will die. And it's possible. It's possible 90,000 will die. I don't think it's out of the question. Once again, the answer isn't going to be it's just like Gardasil. Let's go back there for a minute. This is a serious problem. What the problem is that there's no question about it that promiscuity among young children, among teenagers, is the cause of sexually transmitted disease. Until we say that out loud, it's not going to stop. And all we do is give it different names. Before it used to be called syphilis and gonorrhea, then it changed to herpes, then it became AIDS, and now they're talking about and so all they're doing is giving fancy names because we're so politically correct. We're not allowed to say if you have sexual relations, outside of marriage, and I'm not trying to be this, religious type person.
No, the point is it's dangerous behavior. You're going to get burned. This is serious business. And so they give you a vaccine, which they admit on the insert doesn't even protect you from the human papillomavirus, all the hundreds of strains, and then it kills a bunch of people.
And let me tell you something. My senior partner, Dr. Rosie, who's been with me for more than 25 years, calls all these, the Gardasil, the hepatitis B vaccine, the safe sex vaccine. What is the message we're giving? We've got such great vaccines. You can go and have sex with everyone after you get this vaccine. I mean, that's the message, I mean, what a message. And all of a sudden people say, wait a minute, that's not a very good message. And it's no different here than the flu vaccine and the whole vaccine program. I think people are wising up, and that's what we're seeing. You know what it is? It's not as much wising up. They're having the courage to say, Alex may be right. He may not be that crazy lunatic who's talking about that we need our guns and we need our rights. Maybe there is a constitution still. This is America, and my dad right now is not rolling over in his grave. He is saying, the people will wake up and they will vote this administration out. Will that end it? No, but you know what? Live another day, and
the point is we're in the fight. We're not rolling over to tyranny. I want to come back and take some phone calls, but I want to encourage all the viewers and listeners. Don't vaccinate before you educate. Mayor Eisenstein, MD, JD, MPH. This is the book, balanced, real medical facts, real history, 33, 34, 35 years of research. This is the book that is not full of scare tactics, not full of baloney, not conspiracy theories. It's available at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com in the secure online video bookstore shopping cart, or you can simply go to the toll-free number, 888-253-3139. That's 888-253-3139 to get. Don't vaccinate before you educate. You could save somebody's life. If you got neighbors that have kids, give it to them. Be obnoxious. That's what it's all about, saving people. We'll be right back. We've got Dr. Mayor Eisenstein for another 20 minutes. We're going to take exclusively now your phone calls. Then I'm going to news blitz, play Jason Burmas' trailer, and a lot more. That is coming up. Right now, let's go ahead and talk to Bill in California. You're on the air with the author of Don't Vaccinate Before You Educate. Go ahead.
Thank you, Alex, for having me on. I'm a new listener. I was a dumb down on the right until you opened my eyes. I really appreciate that. The point I want to make is yesterday as I was listening to you, I'm just watching Fox News on TV and watching the news feeds on the bottom, and right away Kathleen Sebelius is on there, and the news flashes 522 die in U.S. from swine flu. So that's number one. Number two, again, today they did the news flash, like the doctor was saying, that 90,000 could die. Now, also, I'm looking at a article that was in the L.A. Times saying hundreds of thousands could die from swine flu if vaccinations fail. Now, what I did is I tied all this together with the FEMA camps and the coffins. Those coffins aren't to bury. They're to get the dead bodies to the FEMA camp where they can burn them because they don't want any evidence left behind. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned this because just a week or two ago, it was 200 deaths. So, wow, they're saying 500. I got to look up that latest number. The thing is, they continue to put out a bigger number, then revise it, because they'll say everybody that died of flu died of this, then later it comes back it wasn't that, or in some cases it was when they didn't know. But Dr. Eisenstein said this may be a really bad flu. It may be mutating. It may kill more than what it regularly does. But if they almost shut the country down for a couple deaths in April, what's going to happen when the regular flu hits and it kills 30-something thousand? Dr. Eisenstein, comments on what the caller just said.
You're totally right, but it goes along with, here's the misinformation. This may be serious. Here's the answer. The two don't follow from each other, because the real answers are good hygiene, good nutrition, and lots of vitamin D.
Exactly. They're making the solution. They're saying all you've got is this vaccine, which isn't even the right mutation, and they're saying right there on the LA Times, if it fails, basically 200,000 are dead. Right. So that's the key. You just hit the key there. I hope people realize that. I haven't really thought of it that way. They're not telling you what all the studies show about vitamin D, sunshine, plenty of rest, drinking purified water, eating healthy, not being around big crowds of people if this breaks out. I'm sorry, Doc. Go ahead.
No, you're right on point. This is on the light of just two studies, not put out by Mayor Eisenstein. One was in the Archives of Internal Medicine, a so-called, quote, prestigious journal, that 75% of the country is severely deficient in vitamin D. And then there was the one in Pediatrics 3 months ago, which says 75% of children and 100% of Hispanics and African Americans are deficient in vitamin D. Watch who dies. It sounds awful. I don't want to make predictions like that. They'll be the ones who are deficient in vitamin D will have the highest probability of dying. Now, is vitamin D the total answer? Nothing in life is the total answer. One day, all of us will be with the Lord. That's the bottom line. But our goal is to kind of put it off a little bit.
Well, Doc, I was reading some studies, but I experienced this myself. One time in college, living alone, I barely got to the phone and called my dad to come over and get me out of bed and take me to the hospital to give me a shot of some type of anti-nauseous medicine. I forget the name of it. But Finagrin.
Okay.
But I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. I was totally dehydrated. If I'd have been an old person or couldn't got to the phone, I probably would have ended up dying. Isn't most of the flu killing people because they're already sick or debilitated, or they just are alone and end up getting stuck in bed?
Or both.
Well, explain that to us when we get back. We'll take calls from Pat, Jenny, and Robert. Final segment with Dr. Mayor Eisenstein, the book, Don't Vaccinate Before You Educate. Mayor Eisenstein, MD, JD, MPH. But yeah, I've had the flu so bad, folks. I'm sure a lot of you have had it. So a lot of this, you need to help your neighbors.